Hi, my name is Don Scott. My company is Growth Times 2. I have over 35 years experience working with executives, entrepreneurs, closely held businesses, high net worth individuals ranging up into the hundreds of millions of dollars, and the adult children of those families. So I've seen about every financial situation you could think of, and I have a master's degree in spiritual psychology from the University of Santa Monica. I meet a lot of business owners who tell me they want to grow. And so are they? Look at the financial statements. Are they growing? Well, no. They're trying this, they're trying that, but they're not growing. So what's wrong with that picture? I want to grow, but I'm not getting there. Something is missing. What's missing? What do we do? How do we stop? How do we get pause and change that whole equation? You know, we're talking about a whole bunch of lives. We're talking about quality of life, wealth, money, cash flow, you know, big stakes. These guys have already been successful. They can move mountains, but something's missing because this mountain's not getting moved. So what are we going to do? What's the process? I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but first off, we're going to stop trying to figure out what the next step is. We're going to stop trying to do this. Slow down and take a realistic assessment of now. What's going on now? And that is a much bigger, broader, deeper process than one might think, because there are a whole bunch of facts and factors that we need to understand before we can begin to think about the move forward. So next we're going to look at what do we really want it to be. Again, very, very different than what's probably being done. And I'm not just talking about what do we want the business to look like, or what do we want top line to look like. It's not, well, we want 10% annual growth or 12% annual growth. I'm talking about drawing a picture for the business owner's life. You know, money, real wealth, quality of life, time, fulfillment, passion, all of those things. And not just for the owner of the business, but for all the key drivers. What's it supposed to look like at a much broader, deeper level? Once we've got that vision, now we've got to start looking at, well, what's standing between A and B? If we're here and we want to be here, why haven't we gotten there already? And that's, again, way different than one would think. It's not just the outside stuff, it's the inside. I use this metaphor of an iceberg, which I think is perfect. Think about an iceberg and think about the water as the surface of life. And above we've got this little bit hanging out, and if I have the diagram in my hands, you know, in the top part you've got accountants and lawyers and financial statements and you know, taxes and estate planning and sales meetings and all the day-to-day activity. You know, that's where it all is, and that's where you know, when something's not working right, when we're not getting to where we want to go, that's where we jump in and put all of our time and energy and money. And that little space, that little crowded space above the surface of life. But if you think about that iceberg and what's underneath, that's where the good stuff is. That's attitudes, beliefs, and judgments. That's ego and shame and fear and faith, trust. That's the programming that was built up when that person was, you know, a little boy or a little girl, and then developed and reinforced and really reinforced through that whole period of developing and growing the business up to here. That may not be the right programming, and that's where we have to go in and do a lot of investigation and a lot of work, because believe it or not, that's going to drive success way, way more than anything we can ever do above the surface. Now there's plenty of things we're going to do above the surface. There's, that's going to start to be revealed. I use the example of compensation strategy. Once we start to get a good assessment of where we are, and a clear vision of where we want to go, and we have a good handle on those barriers, and we're working through those, and we're developing strategy and tactics. What's our compensation structure look like? Is it designed in a way that's going to drive that growth, that's going to drive the behavior that we want, that's going to recruit the kind of people that we need? Odds are really high that it's not. Most of the time, it's really not what's going to put the company's best foot forward and what's going to create the most opportunity and the most incentive for wealth creation for everybody involved. So below the surface, massive untapped territory to change the whole equation. And above the surface, we're all more familiar with that space, but tons of things to do there, and those start to fall out. The how-to, that's not so clear now. I mean, we've been trying how-tos and they haven't gotten us there. Once we go through this process, the how-tos, the what to do, the tactics, those start to fall in place. Those start to become pretty visible and executable. And guess what? The clients that I work with, the people that I work with, they can move mountains. They've already been successful. They've already achieved amazing things. And all that it takes, all that's really missing is absolute clarity and then a powerful, passionate, unrelenting commitment to create the life, the wealth, the happiness, the peace, the time, all the things they want, all the things they deserve. Clarity and passion. My website is www.growthtimes2.com. If you'd like more information or would like to get in touch with me, thank you for watching.